Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So today we are going to talk about the Drop THX Panda over-ear wireless headphones. There has been lots of hype around these headphones, lots and lots of hype. Do they live up to the hype? It all depends. So today I'll be sharing my experiences with you all, and I'll be telling you all the good, the bad, and everything else you need to take note of before you purchase the Drop THX Panda headphones. Without wasting time, let's begin. These cost $400. I'll be throwing links in the description section for you all to purchase this if you want. It only comes in this black color. You have to bear that in mind. There is no other color to choose from. First of all, they come in this nice box, as you can see here. Let me just open it up so you all can see. Here we go. Very nice packaging. Okay, so here is it. They come in this hard shell carrying case, and then you also get your user manual, instruction booklet and all that, and quick start guide. Okay, let me just put this aside. So also in the case you get a USB-C cable for charging these up. These use USB-C, and then you have your 3.5mm auxiliary cable for wired listening. So overall I like the packaging, very nice and solid. Just that the carrying case is quite huge, as you can see. It's bigger than that of the Sony WH-1000XM4s, so you have to bear that in mind. Okay, so coming back to the headphones themselves, the build quality looks pretty solid. They don't look cheap at all. The headband is made of a combination of metal and plastic. I just don't know how this would fare for long-term use. We'll see, but the build quality is decent, it's okay, not bad, and I just like the overall minimalist look. No much branding around, a very simple and very clean look, and it's not really much of a fingerprint magnet as well, which I really like. As you can see, the ear pads are quite large, and they would fit most ears, and they are quite soft and comfortable as well, so I don't have any issues with them. But in terms of clamping force, these have a hard clamping force. That's the first thing you notice when you put them on. Depending on the size of your head, some of you might notice it more than others, but from my usage, after a few days it loosened up a little bit, but the clamping force is still there. And these have some weight to them. These are heavy headphones. These are not headphones that you wear and you forget that you have them on your head, and they are quite chunky as well. As you can see, the ear cups are quite chunky. So once you put these on, they are just quite bulky and they bulge out on both sides of your head. Well, as you can see, they swivel slightly and they rotate to an angle of 90 degrees. They don't fold up, but you've got your hard shell carrying case, which is pretty good. Headbands are pretty comfortable, but they don't have a lot of padding. As you can see, it's quite flat here. They lack padding, but surprisingly, I don't really feel any discomfort at the top of my head. As I said earlier on, these have a very clean and minimalist look to them. They don't really have any much buttons. The only button you have is this multi-purpose joystick here for you to turn it on and off, and also for skipping tracks as well, and for increasing and reducing the volume. I just hope this joystick would last long, as it's used to do everything on these headphones. You have your USB-C port for charging it up, and then you have your 3.5mm auxiliary port for wired listening. In my opinion, I don't think these are to be compared to active noise cancelling headphones in terms of feature set and all that. These are just passive noise isolation headphones. They don't have any active noise cancellation on them at all. But from my usage, I'm quite surprised on how much they block outside noise. They really have a very good seal. Another thing I don't like about the THX Panda is that they turn themselves off way too early. If you pair this up to your smartphone or your computer and you don't use them for like a few minutes, they just turn themselves off. I just wish they can stay on for a little bit longer. Another thing I noticed is that volume control can be a little bit annoying as well, whereby if you just want to slightly increase the volume, this ends up making it way too loud, and then when you want to reduce it, it reduces it too much. This is just me nitpicking, but these are things I've noticed and I have to let you all know about them. Battery life is very great. You are getting around 30 hours on these headphones. They don't have active noise cancellation, which contributes to the great battery life. Now coming to sound quality, which is the most important part of these headphones. Once you wear these headphones for the first time, the first thing you'll notice is the openness. That's the best word I can use to describe it. The Sony sound kind of narrow, while the THX Panda sounds kind of open. It has this openness to the sound. The treble is a little bit controlled. Vocals don't really have this sparkle to them, and all the instruments don't have this, sparkle and crisp finish to them. Some of you might like it, some of you might not. Bass reproduction on this is pretty tight, punchy, very responsive and quite precise. You don't get, the kind of bloated bass you have on the Sonys. These are very clean. They are almost similar to what you get on those studio monitoring headphones like the ATH M40X, but the highs on these don't really give you that sparkle. So that's one thing these are missing. So it has a quite flat sound signature. It sometimes makes the mids sound a little bit too exaggerated sometimes. When you are listening to some tracks that don't really have lots of bass, it can sound a little bit too flat. As for me, I just wish it had just a little bit more bass, especially on the lower end. The lower end can be sometimes lost when listening to, some tracks where you'd expect the lower end to be obvious. So if you want more bass, you definitely have to use an EQ to do that. They get very loud as well, especially if you are using them on Android devices. That's what I noticed. On iOS, it's a little bit, you have to crank it up to around 50% and above before they get pretty loud. Another thing I have to point out about the THX Panda is that once you crank these up above 60% volume, I feel like the mids become a little bit too much and they sound a little bit shrill, especially when you are playing, treble heavy songs. Don't get me wrong, they are not bad sounding headphones in any way. If you are coming from an high-end open back headphones, definitely these won't sound that great. I just wish there was a dedicated app to equalize these headphones. I think that might be coming in the future, I'm not sure. But in the meantime, you can use third-party apps to equalize these headphones. They've got dual microphones for making and receiving calls. To be honest, the call quality on these headphones are worse than that on the Sony WH-1000 XM4s and XM3s. They sound muffled and a little distorted, so these are not headphones for making lots of calls. But if you're looking for something that sounds better than the likes of the Sony WH-1000 XM4s, XM3s, the Bose, and even I think the Sennheiser Momentum 3s, I think they sound slightly better, but bear in mind you don't get active noise cancellation. I will be comparing the THX Panda to the Beoplay H95s and the AirPods Max, which I'm expecting very soon. As always, I'll be throwing links in the description section for you all to purchase the THX Pandas if you want. Feel free to check out other videos on this channel, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click the red subscribe button and the notification bell icon so you will always be notified each time I post a new video on this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Adios.